Welcome back to the Foundation. This is Sway Totem, and I was about to start on a project right now, just to do something real fast before the corner store opened up. But it got me thinking, all right, because I was gonna start it with Spawn, and one of my more popular videos on my channel is like my honest opinion or the most honest review about Spawn, and it's just like if I thought people were gonna see it as much as they did, and it was about 1.6K. That's a lot to me. I probably would have been, I would have said things a little bit differently, right? Spawn's cool, right? I think it does kind of change your creative process. You just have to know how to do things a little bit differently. But at the end of the day, I think the best thing about Spawn is that it creates MIDI for you. Because personally, even though I only kind of really go to like the minor key and use the dark set and like ambience and stuff like that, all this like it starts to sound the same after a while. Not the chords or the MIDI, but the sounds. So there's only so much sound selection and combination that can happen, and that's whatever. All right, but there's this other plugin that is came out, and it's called MIDI Wizard by Unison Audio, and I think this other YouTuber Weaver Beats he talked about it, and I thought it was kind of funny because who would have like it actually is an interesting idea to think that like all they're doing because the chords that they were using were garbage. It's like all they were doing were just taking like their pre-made like MIDI chord packs and stuff and just putting it behind some code, press random generate, and you know what I'm saying? Something very simple probably. You know what I mean? And it's just like it made me just think about like, well, if you ever think about like just getting AI stuff or even think about getting this plugin, right? And you might have Spawn or you might be thinking about Spawn or never heard of Spawn. I would say get Spawn dead. I don't like just because I already have it, all right? But I am also thinking about getting this. But the thing is, it's just like the only reason why is just that unless you're looking for like a new cool sound or something like that, which, let's see, there's sounds in here. Of course, a thing is gonna come with. I do not remember scrolling down this much. Um, then yeah, because like I think what really drives the creative process is like the sound selection and like just what you hear. And a testament to that is I have two beats. One that I actually just made yesterday. I uploaded it, and both of those beats have sequences in them. And I took MIDI actually. I think for the one yesterday. I don't know about the first one, but it's just like I took MIDI, and it's just I put a sound over it. I tried different sounds, but it's just like, and they sounded so cool. You know what I mean? So it's just like maybe I kind of went off on a tangent, but at the end of the day, I feel like if there's gonna be a plugin to get, if there's gonna be a plugin to get, it's gonna be Scalar. That's the plugin to get, I think, in my opinion. I might be wrong, but I just think because of how they marketed to me, it was talk. There you go. It makes it easy to like improve your solve musical puzzles, and that's what I think in some cases, uh, music can be when you start making chords and stuff like that. And this is going to be my reasoning. Okay, is because whoever thought about that line understands, or maybe doesn't understand. I'm going to say this right. So a musical puzzle. Think about how we work with like patterns. Think about how we make all this stuff in the box, right? Could be puzzling, whatever, whatever. But the only puzzle that's also a box, and there's a lot of puzzles that are a box, but a Rubik's cube, where you have to rearrange all these cubes, all those patterns and stuff like that. Much how you have to rearrange all these cubes and patterns. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is about it is that sometimes it's hard to build a good arrangement because you don't have like a good progression. If you have a good progression, you have direction, and it helps that workflow because you start to feel it, you know? So it's just like the reason why I brought that up is because it seems like a more solid plugin than the other ones. I think if it's cheaper, I'm actually just going to. Oh, they don't have their. I missed the intro deal. I think. Okay, no, it's still there, and it's not even. It's only $20, so who gives a fuck, dude? But it's just like it just looks more interesting this plugin. I would imagine that a little bit more went into it, based off of the interface and stuff like that. Even based off of that one quote, the musical puzzle. Like music can be a puzzle, and I think that a lot of people get a blockage because they're working on something and they just can't figure out what they're working on. But like it's just anything you have an idea for, there's you can solve it. I'm not saying Scalar 3 is going to do that, okay? What I'm saying is that there's multiple ways to solve these puzzles. It could be a melodic puzzle. It could be a puzzle for drums. Like what can I do to really solve this idea here? And because it's easy to lose sight of the true version of the idea, especially which is like if you don't have the right sounds. And that's happened to me so many times. I would have just like I would have an arrangement going on. I'd mix it, and then I'd say, okay, this fits inside the mix, but I need this sound specifically. How do I get that? I don't know how to make from scratch. I don't have that sound, and everything just kind of just like, all right, well, I guess I can just have not that element in my song. So it's just like I know. Start talking about Spawn. I think this plugin is all right. I'm not gonna like bash it or anything. It's all right for MIDI. Like just peep. Like this is what I would have done earlier. So I would have just went to the piano roll, just like this, because that just sounds just like another Spawn preset. Like the sounds are just so dookie, in this plugin, but it's a pretty useful plugin, I suppose. If let me see, just for MIDI, boom, there you go, just like that. Like there's no point of buying the Unison audio for their MIDI generation. So it's like I could have. So right there, and I heard it when I listened to it. Is this? I would change something right here. This last chord, which would be like, the end of the progression. Change that right there. But like I already can hear where I could have some type of. So that's not quite it. And this is even starting the start of it. And I can pay by you see figures, but you know that I love that. Can't see something like that. You know what I mean? Sound selection. I would have never thought of making a melody or like I could make a song over that right there because it's just like, I'd have to change the chord progressions a little bit up, but it's just like, there you go. That's the cool thing about that. You know what I'm saying? And then just because I was easily able to do that, right? Then it makes me think about, oh, okay, should I get Scalar 3? Because what the Scalar 3 do, it makes MIDI, it makes chords and stuff like that. I think it does. For some reason, I think it is a little bit more. And the thing about it is because progressions have to happen longer. I think for like a more interesting arrangement, it's just that the progressions have to happen longer than this right here. You feel me? Because people will just copy and paste this over just like that, But if I were to stretch these chords out, like if the chord stretched out this long, and it's just like, right, progression's happening longer, right? You're going to get that little weird chord change right here. So when we go into like the second chorus, or you might get a flow change right there. And the thing is, like me saying that, never thought about it. You feel me? So I know I'm just like sitting here yapping and stuff like that, but I do want to buy a new plugin. And it's just like, what I'm thinking of is just like I really want to plug in with different sounds though. Like I had a cracked version of Omnisphere. Maybe I should get Omnisphere. Hundreds of dollars. So I could get it, but I also could just chill. You feel me? I feel like before I get like actually going in on that, it's just like, am I really good at making beats? Like, yeah, I'm getting sounds, but like I never made a dollar off the beat. So it's just like, that's kind of like a thing. I mean, but it's a hobby, right? So maybe I should stop being cheap. You feel me? But it gives me time to practice, using pigment sticks, making my own sounds. But it's just like, I don't know. I probably wouldn't get that Unison audio MIDI stuff Good thing no porn opened up in that history. No, but seriously though, like, like, but this is the thing, right? Right here is like the price that they're telling you that it used, like that it is, because like here's the thing, you're never going to see this go up to $497. You're never gonna see this go up to $1,000. Okay, like this deal's gonna happen for forever. It's the same thing with Sky Keys, and I have Sky Keys, and it's actually crazy. So now they're actually charging people $69. All right, see how there's just like a most basic site. Okay, never mind. You can scroll down a little bit, but it's just like this plugin is like this plugin's whatever. I have it, but it's just like no one's paying $129 for this, dude. Like that's how they get you. They just say, hey, it's this price, but we'll give it to you for this. But it's really only $20. You feel me? Like just yapping though.